You guys, if you haven't heard about Anchor by Spotify, you need to. It's the easiest way to make a podcast with everything you need all in one place. Anchor has tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or your computer. When hosting on Anchor, you can distribute your podcast on listening platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcast, and more. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. And best of all, Anchor is totally free. Download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
Welcome to Mimesis, the podcast where life and art imitate each other in all sorts of twisted ways. I'm Sandra Sheriff-Ackerley.
And I'm Stacey Rourke.
Woohoo! Are you ready for this one?
I am. That was a real awkward pause there.
I know.
You woohooed our names.
Woohoo!
We remember our names.
Score! I was more woohooing that I got the opening right again.
Yes, you did. Can't remember anything that comes after, but you're like, I got that done. The hardest part is over. Yes. Oh, goodness. Well, we are back. We are so glad to be back with you guys. We were supposed to get this recording in earlier this week, but, well, the crud came over my house.
Yeah, the crud sucks.
Yeah, let me tell you what happened, though, okay? I saved this story specifically for the show because I wanted to share it with you and all of our listeners because it's so atrocious. So my youngest is in 8th grade. She's getting ready to go into high school. So she's got all the 8th grade festivities that are happening. You know, they had their 8th grade dance. And then Saturday we had a field trip to Islands of Adventure in Orlando.
Awesome. That's like the best field trip ever. It
was pretty cool. And we had her band friends, and band kids are like the best kids ever.
They are.
So these kids, I mean, we didn't deal with like obnoxious kids at all. These kids were like on their best behavior. They were just fun to be around. They stayed together. We had no problems with these kids all day long. It was fantastic. We had a couple little incidents along the way that happened in the park of me having to like run to first aid and get aspirin, but that's to be expected when you're dealing with 8 kids. Okay.
Oh, 8?
8.
You're brave.
It was me and another dad and 8 kids. Okay. And his name is Cecil. Cecil, if you were my angel that day, we could not have gotten through that without each other. But we just spent the day counting heads. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Like making sure we had them all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, we're good. Where's number 8? We got a runner. We got a runner. You know, that was pretty much our day. But the next day, Madeline woke. No, it wasn't even the next day. 3:30 in the morning when we got back from Islands of Adventure. She came in my room at 3:30. Now, of my 2 children, Madeline never says she doesn't feel good unless she legit doesn't feel good. And she came in my room at 3:30 sobbing that she didn't feel good.
Oh, no.
I got her some Tylenol. She did have a fever. I got her some Tylenol. I thought it was just sun exposure. Got her some Tylenol.
Didn't she get stuck on a ride?
She got stuck on a ride in the sun for 30 minutes without a water. Yeah. So I thought it was sun exposure. As soon as I gave her the Tylenol, sorry, this is gross, but she immediately vomited it back up, like immediately. So I'm going, oh crap. Okay, so give her lots of water. So we do that, and the next day she pretty much rested all day. Well, Monday she was supposed to go back to school, and she still had a fever, and she still felt horrible. So I had to keep her home Monday too. Yeah. And she'd been laying on the couch. Like, this is the kind of sick she was. She's 14. Her phone was in my bathroom, and she didn't even ask for it.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, like in teenager terms, that's the worst kind of sick. She didn't even ask for her phone. So I brought it to her. And a few minutes later, I hear like a weak little laugh. And she was like, huh, that's funny. And I was like, what, honey? And she goes, Mom, every single one of the 8 kids you chaperoned are all home with a fever today.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So now I'm like, Awesome. So whatever they have, I'm going to have too. And sure enough, within like 2 days, I spiked a fever. That's why I sound like Stevie Nicks right now. I spiked a fever and I've been dealing with it all week. But Maddie she went back to school and then she ended up coming home because she was still so dizzy. She couldn't make it through a school day.
Oh, that's
and when I signed her out, the sign out sheet said 8th grade, 8th grade, 8th grade, 8th grade, 8th grade. Sick fever, fever, fever.
Oh, no.
50,
and it's not COVID.
It's not COVID. We've taken tests. It's not COVID.
Okay.
We've tested repeatedly. 56 kids that went to the 8th grade dance are homesick this week because apparently some kind of like rapid fire virus just raged through that dance that night. So, yeah. So I'm going to be coughing.
That's terrible.
Excuse me. And I'm going to sound like this during the episode. And that's why, because I chaperoned germy teenagers. And now I'm paying the price.
Yes. You can keep that down there. I don't want that. But I think it has hit my household too.
Yeah, I did. Becca, you know Becca. She's a good friend of mine and yours. She was down here this week to help with the literary event that we put on every year. And I do know she was heading back today. And she was up coughing pretty much all night last night. So
that's wonderful.
I sent her back with it. Maybe steer clear of Becca for a little while.
I'll stay away. No, my little man, like all of a sudden came down with something in the last 24 hours. So it might hit my house too.
If it's a fever and it's a cough, that if it, like symptoms of COVID, but not COVID, that's whatever this crap is that's going around right now. Yeah. All right. But enough about us and being sick. You have a very exciting event or episode for us here today.
I do. I am so excited about this one.
I'm really pumped about this. This one's going to be really cool. Like you pulled this one completely out of the air and I love it. And that's funny because what it is, you pulled it out of the air. And
pulled it out of the air. It's Twister.
See, that makes it even funnier. You pulled it out of the air like a cow in front of a truck.
Like a cow. That's actually, I have to tell you, like, we'll get into that about the cow because it's kind of funny.
I'm excited. All right, let's do this thing.
I found a lot of information about this movie and how it ties into like real life and some just interesting facts.
This is going to be awesome. I'm really excited. Tornadoes are one of those things that like they're fantastic in movies and they're very interesting, but they scare the living hell out of me.
Oh yeah, they scare the crap out of me. Like,
yeah,
I remember being little and I don't know if it was a hurricane or a tornado. Like, I swear it was a tornado, but it could have been a tornado because of the hurricane.
Yeah.
Like I tried looking it up and I think it was like Tropical Storm Alberto or something like that. But we had just learned about tornadoes and my dad was standing in the glass window staring out at the storm. And I was like, Dad, you have to hide in the bathroom. They said in the bathtub. Let's go. And then I run and then I like ran into my room for some reason. And then like I see stuff flying out by my window in the back. And I was like, I'm going to die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
but he just sat there and looked and stared. And my mom got locked. My mom was at work, so it was just my dad and I. And she got locked in the freezer at the Piggly Wiggly.
That's funny. I remember my stepdad told me when I was growing up, because I was so afraid of tornadoes, he told me that as long as it was raining, a tornado couldn't hit, that the rain had to stop in order for the tornado to come through. Yeah. And I believed that until your uncle told me within the last few years that was absolute horseshit. And I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, I believed that for the longest time too. Yeah. Yep.
Did they tell you that lie too?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it probably was him that told me.
Yeah. And then years later, you're like, I see what you did there. Okay.
Yeah. It was a good one, though. It made you stop thinking.
It did.
Yeah.
It did.
Yeah.
All right, ma'am. I'm ready.
Okay. So the movie was released on May 10th, 1996. The film is about a group of amateur storm chasers trying to deploy a tornado research device during a severe outbreak in Oklahoma. So, trying to get his ex-wife, who was played by Helen Hunt, Joe, to sign divorce papers, played by Bill Paxton, but his name was also Bill in the movie.
Yep.
Introduces his new wife, or his new fiancée, Melissa. He has no intentions on staying. However, he discovers that Joe has created Dorothy, the capsule-like device filled with weather sensors that he contractualized but never saw realized. And Dorothy would be revolutionary. He thought Dorothy would be revolutionary for tornado research. And she didn't sign the papers. Like, a warning came out that they were trying to chase the storm, and so he had to follow after her.
Yes. I also always thought that like it was his idea.
Yeah.
And I think as the scientist part of his brain was like, okay, my goal is for her to sign the papers, but like I also want to see if this works because that's my idea.
Right. Like, I would be like, hey, that's my idea. Why are you trying to use it? Like, why isn't my name on this? Like, come on. Yeah.
I always felt so bad for his fiance because she never had a chance. From the beginning of the movie, that girl never had a chance.
Never. Like, you saw the writing on the walls at the beginning of that movie. And to have her be a therapist, too.
Mm-hmm. You would think she would be like, oh, this is bad for me.
Yeah. After getting the tire damaged on his truck, he was getting it repaired at a repair shop. He encounters Jonas Miller, his rival, storm chaser, who has stolen his idea for the Dorothy-like device and plans to deploy his corporate-sponsored version first to receive sole credit. So Bill was enraged, agrees to give Joe 1 day for her team to successfully deploy Dorothy. As the team pursues a developing F1 tornado, which is ironic that the tornadoes throughout the whole movie go from F1 to F5. They like go bigger.
Well, that's what they do. I don't know if you knew that, but tornadoes are very, very polite and they let you warm up.
Yeah.
They'll start small. No. That's not how it works.
No. So they chase after an F1 tornado. Bill accidentally gets Joe's vehicle stuck in a ditch, crashing it into a small bridge, and they take shelter. The tornado destroys the truck along with one of the 4 Dorothy prototypes. With more storms developing, Bill uses his own truck as the lead vehicle, and the team pursue an intensifying F2 tornado. Once again, they encounter Jonas's team, but Bill uses his instincts to accurately predict a sudden change in the tornado's path. While driving, they encounter 2 waterspouts, which suddenly ambush their truck and thrash it violently.
There you go. That makes sense. Okay.
Bill and Joe are unscathed, while Melissa is badly shaken. And that's where they see the cow.
Cow.
Other cow. No, I think that's the
same cow.
Which later on I have to tell you why that's in there.
Okay.
So
are we going through all the movie facts first and then we'll go through the
yeah.
Okay, you got a whole system.
First.
Okay.
I do. And then we'll go piece by piece of like the actual facts from real life.
You're so prepared.
So, I was this time because this one like really excited me.
I love that. I love this journey
they're
for
all
you.
Exciting, but
yeah.
The team chalked Joe into visiting Aunt Meg's house in the nearby town of Wakita. I think that's how you pronounce it. And over steak and eggs, Bill explains Joe's childhood story to Melissa, while Meg infers Joe is still in love with Bill and advises her to stay with him. The team learns of developing F3 tornado and they scramble to pursue it. Again, F1, F2, F3.
Mm-hmm. These are such polite tornadoes.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, there's like a thunderstorm brewing outside as we're having this conversation. So you're talking about tornadoes and I'm listening to thunder and I'm like, cow.
We had a horrible storm this morning, so it's kind of fitting.
Yeah, it's getting us in the mood.
So the storm quickly backbuilds and knocks over power lines, one of which destroys another Dorothy prototype. With the pack ruined and the truck damaged, Bill forces them to retreat. Joe loses her temper and berates Bill for not understanding that she has become a storm chaser because of what had happened to her father. Bill tells her to move on from her traumatic past and remember that she still has Bill, not realizing that their entire conversation is overheard by Melissa.
Oh.
So that night, the crew repaired the vehicles in a shop next to a drive-by screening. Or drive-by? Oh, I can't do this. I'm so excited. I'm like skipping words.
A drive-by theater. You don't watch the whole movie. You just drive past it and get little snippets of it.
That night, the crew will repair their vehicles in a shop next to a drive-in screening of The Shining, where Joe finally signs the divorce papers to assure Bill's conflicted feelings. However, the sudden appearance of an F4 tornado forces the team to seek shelter under the garage. The tornado obliterates the theater, destroying 2 of the team's vehicles, and injures a team member before proceeding directly toward Wakita. The team realizes that Meg is in the grave danger and scrambles to rescue her. Before they leave, Melissa gently breaks up with Bill and assures him that Joe still needs him.
Aww. See, she's a therapist at heart. She was like, okay.
I get it. I thought you were in love with me, but really you're not over your ex. Don't just go ahead.
I'm going to be
give myself some therapy.
Exactly. I'm going to be mature for both of us right now. I am going to call you all sorts of bad names as soon as I leave. Just be okay with that.
You're leaving me in the middle of a tornado just touched down? Really?
Yeah. Also, the fact that there's so many tornadoes happening in such a short amount of time.
So many.
That's a lot. Like, that's end of days kind of storms.
Yeah. I mean, they probably have them like that. Just it might be a little bit more spread out because they
they're not as close together.
Tornado Alley.
Yeah.
I would say they're probably like a couple days apart. Not
you would think.
This feels like it's like within like 4 days.
It does. It feels like there's like numerous tornadoes a day.
Yeah. Which maybe there is. I
don't know. I don't hang out in Tornado Alley.
That part a little.
Yeah.
No, there's
it's called Tornado Alley. I'm not going to go there. Like if there was a street called Snake Pit Street, I'm not going there just because of the name alone.
No. I always wonder how people can live there knowing that tornadoes.
Yeah.
Like I understand like it's a lot of farmland, but still like I'm not going to build a house.
No.
No.
Yeah. Hawaii is gorgeous, but I'm not going to build my house where there's an active volcano. That one that's constantly erupting? No. I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm going to stay here where, I don't know. There was a tornado here in Michigan yesterday. So
there was. I don't know where you're going with that.
See, I was preparing for us to do this. Okay. Whoa,
that was thunder.
Oh, okay.
You said it was preparing, and the weather answered.
That's what I'm hearing. Okay.
Yeah, that is the storm outside. It's getting us in the mood.
We need our Patreon listeners to get us some soundproofing.
I know, we do. We need soundproofing equipment someday.
One day soon. Yeah. Okay. So Wakita, having no warnings of the coming tornado, is left unrecognizable. Meg is rescued with minor injuries, and she encourages Joe to continue with her work so that the future warnings will be more effective. with a record-breaking F5 tornado forecasted by the National Severe Storms Laboratory to form the next day. Bill and Joe were inspired by Meg's wind vanes to add aluminum wings to the last two Dorothy prototype sensors, making them more aerodynamic. The next day, the team pursues the correct predicted mile-wide F5 tornado. Their first attempt to deploy the unanchored Dorothy is thrashed by the tornado's strong winds and erratic trees. Meanwhile, Jonas attempts to deploy his device, ignoring Bill and Joe's warning to stay away from the tornado. As a result, his driver Eddie is impaled by a transmitter tower, and their vehicle is picked up and thrown to the ground, and the vehicle explodes. Which, that's horrible.
Yeah. That's graphic.
Yeah. So
also, a mile-wide tornado. That just scares the crap out of me. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. And
that's huge.
There really are tornadoes that do that.
They're know.
Huge. Like, seeing some
scary.
videos of them. Yeah.
The ones that just, like, eliminate entire towns. They're, a lot of times they're that size, and it's so scary.
Yeah. Like, the winds get so crazy, like 200 plus mile an hour.
And they say it sounds like a freight train when they're going through.
Yeah. Oh, no thank you.
If any of our listeners have been in a tornado, we absolutely want to hear your stories, because that stuff is just so scary.
And it's kind of morbidly fascinating.
It is. It is. Well, it's a survivor story, because holy crap, you lived through this. Yeah. That's an act of God.
Very much.
Yeah.
Okay. So while the last remaining Dorothy affixed to the truck's bed, the two sacrifice Bill's truck by aiming it directly at the tornado, setting the cruise control and jumping out. Dorothy is successfully deployed in immediate results. However, Joe and Bill are forced to outrun the tornado on foot after it shifts towards them. They hide in a nearby shed, and strapping themselves to deep pipes, they ride out the tornado, getting an incredible view of its core. After the tornado dissipates, they celebrate their success with the rest of the crew and rekindle their marriage. Aww.
And do you remember that? They were like, their feet were flying up in the air, and they were like hanging on by that pipe that was in the ground.
Yeah. It's interesting how they got them to do that.
You're going to tell us all about it, aren't you?
I'm going to tell you. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So here we go. So Twister was not based on a true story, but it did have real life elements.
Okay.
So Twister is an entirely accurate description of storm chasing, and its characters are fictional. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, the NOAA, has been happy to point out that the movie was based on real solid work of the good people at the NOAA and the National Severe Storms Laboratory.
That's cool. They were consulted for the movie?
Yes.
That's awesome. I love that.
Yeah. So the screenplay was written by Michael Crichton and Anne Marie Martin, which was his wife.
That name sounds so familiar.
He did Jurassic Park.
Oh, I judged myself so horribly that I just picked up my phone to Google him. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
You guys don't tell anybody I did that. Everybody listening, don't tell anybody I did that.
I didn't know. I didn't recognize it either. But I just recently found out that he also did the show ER.
He also did the show what? I'm sorry, there was a big bolt of thunder and I couldn't hear you.
The show ER.
Okay.
Emergency.
Yes.
Yeah.
I remember that.
I love that show a lot.
Yes.
I've actually just found that Hulu has it and been rewatching all the episodes.
I remember back in the day when that was the show to watch.
Well, I mean, it had George Clooney and
Noah Wyle.
Oh, now I can't even think. Yes. Oh, that's. Yes. He was everything for me. Being a 13-year-old, he was everything. He was a big jar of hot sauce.
Do you Love it. Do you remember when he got stabbed and he fell on the floor and he saw his intern laying on the floor with her neck cut? Oh my gosh. Yeah. That scene destroyed me.
Yes. I actually
We've gotten totally off topic, but like,
I know. I know. So Crichton was inspired by a device called Toto. Like Dorothy's
Dorothy, dog. Toto. Cute.
Yep. So in an effort to collect weather data from inside a tornado, the NOAA researchers created the Totable Tornado Observatory, nicknamed Toto, named after Dorothy's little dog from the movie The Wizard of Oz. Because obviously there was a tornado in that too.
Exactly. It blew them to Oz.
It did. And then she just had to click her heels to get home.
Yeah, exactly. I've tried that when I've been places. It does not work.
No, it doesn't. Not at all. So during the 1970s and 80s, several groups from the NSSL, National Severe Storm Laboratory. Wow.
Did you hear that?
I did.
That was a big one.
And the University of Oklahoma tried to deploy Toto, but never scored a direct hit. So Toto was retired in 1987.
Okay.
So, in the 1996 movie, Dorothy was a barrel similar to Toto, designed to release hundreds of sensors into the center of the tornado and send the data back to the weather researchers on the ground. The other device that Jonas was trying to deploy was the DOT-3. So I thought that was really cool that he actually took a real life element of that device. Like, I really wish that they would have gotten that working.
Yeah, that it would have worked and we would have gotten a little bit more intel from it. But, the fact that they even used the equipment, I love that element of filmmaking when they make it more authentic by going to that element and that area of expertise and using their knowledge.
Like going to a real scientist.
Yes.
Like, they didn't just Google it. Because Google wasn't a thing.
Google wasn't a thing. And if it was, that would have been lazy movie making.
Yeah. So to make sure the script was realistic as possible, the screenwriters, along with producers Steven Spielberg and Kathleen Kennedy, consulted with scientists.
Spielberg was on this?
Uh-huh.
Do we know if he dropped the mic before the last scene and never finished it?
Don't know. Maybe.
Maybe. I need to know. Fuck this tornado. I'm leaving. Call back to our first episode.
Yep. So they consulted with scientists from the NOAA and the NSSL in Norman, Oklahoma. Several actors, especially Bill Paxton, spent a lot of time at the NSSL to get a feel for the coordination needed to be successful in tornado experiments. Actual tornado researchers took many of the actors on real tornado chases. I would be scared. I would be wetting my pants, but I would be 100% there for it.
Yeah, now, Sam. Bill Paxton, he was in Titanic, and I believe he went down in one of those deep sea dives.
Really?
To see the footage too. So I think now he's passed away.
Yes.
I know he passed, but I do think that he went some really cool places pursuing his craft. That's amazing.
Yeah. That really sciencey.
He was all in. He wanted to see what it was all about. Good for him. That's very cool.
Yeah. Okay. The production was plagued with problems. Joss Whedon was brought in to rewrite through the early spring of 1995. When Whedon contracted bronchitis, Steven Zelliman was brought in to work on the script revisions. Whedon later returned and worked on revisions right through the start of shooting in 1995. Whedon eventually turned in his final reservations on... Whoa.
he turned in his final revisions. Boom, boom, boom. That is some theatrical shit happening here tonight.
I don't even know.
This isn't really a storm. We're doing this all with special effects. Totally lying.
So Whedon eventually turned in his final revisions on what was the happiest day of his life, his wedding day.
I love that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep.
I also didn't know that he was a writer on this.
I didn't either. Yeah.
That's
what
fantastic.
Else did he write?
He was the mastermind behind Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Angel.
Oh, okay.
He also did the first Avengers script. He did the first Toy Story movie. He was one of the writers on that.
That makes sense of when I get down a little bit more of Toy Story.
Okay. So it's going to tie in because he was on that too. Like Jaws, his career is kind of under scrutiny right now because the Me Too movement, there's some stuff that has come out about him. We're not going to endorse that side of him, but creatively speaking, he is a talent to be reckoned with. So we won't weigh in on the other stuff right now, but we'll just go professionally.
Yep. So in an extensive EW profile on the tumultuous production of the 1996 disaster movie, Joss Whedon said he worked on the changes up to the last possible moment. He said, "I turned in my last page on June 24th, 1995, I believe. That's the date I got married. I had to say, I hope you like this because I'm leaving the country now for my honeymoon." Yeah. So...
I have to interrupt you for just a minute. I'm currently under a tornado watch right now. As we're filming this episode, I'm under a tornado watch right now. So
fun. So if you have to run,
if I have to go, I have to go. Just heads up.
So the problems with filming,
it seems like there would be a lot because torrential winds and whatnot.
Yeah. So halfway through filming, both Bill Paxton and Helen Hunt were temporarily blinded by electronic lamps used to make the sky behind the actors look dark and stormy. Paxton remembers that these things literally sunburned his eyeballs. I got back to my room and I couldn't see.
That's terrifying.
Extremely terrifying. Like, you're going to work and all of a sudden you're blind.
Yeah. Guys, can't see.
So to solve the problem, a plexiglass filter was placed in front of the beams. The actors took eye drops and wore special glasses for a few days to recuperate.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, they literally burn their eyes.
Yeah.
After filming in a particularly unsanitary ditch for the first tornado chase scene, in which Bill Paxton and Joe are forced to shelter from the F1 tornado, Hunt and Paxton needed hepatitis shots.
Oh my God.
During the same sequence, Hunt repeatedly hit her head on a low wooden bridge, so exhausted from the demanding shoot that she stood up so quickly and struck her head on a beam.
Ow! How badly was she hurt?
It doesn't say, but between everything, they got beat up making this movie. Like we said, like the Jaws one with her getting like thrashed around and whatnot, they really got beat up here.
But can we take a minute and just talk about how gorgeous Helen Hunt is in the movie? Like, sure, she got the hell beat out of her, but her hair looked flawless in every scene.
It really did. So during one of the stunts in which Hunt opened the door of a vehicle speeding through a cornfield, she momentarily let go of the door and struck it on the side of her head. Some sources claim that she received a concussion in that incident. He said, Debont said, "I love Helen to death, but she can be also a little bit clumsy." She responded, "Clumsy? The guy burned my retinals, but I'm clumsy. I thought I was a good sport." I don't know ultimately if Jan chalks me up as that or not, but One would hope so.
I love that. I'm clumsy. You burned my retinas.
You burned my retinas.
That is not clumsy, sir.
No.
Oh.
Okay. So, an eerie thing that happened was on May 24th. So 14 days. Am I mathing right? Yes, 14 days after the release of Twister.
Okay.
A tornado destroyed screen number 3 at the Can View Drive-In, a drive-in theater in Ontario, which was scheduled to show Twister later that evening.
Listen. They said there was a Twister coming. They did not say the movie Twister was coming.
Right.
I'm sorry if you bought the ticket expecting something else.
At 9 p.m., the showing of Twister, the actual Twister.
This movie is really realistic.
Yeah. Oh, we need to run now. Run.
Oh, we should go.
Screw the popcorn.
Screw the popcorn. That shit is expensive. I'm taking my popcorn.
Yeah.
That makes me think of oh my gosh, I think it's the Jurassic Park number 4, the one that Chris Pratt makes his first appearance in.
Yes.
There's an old man that is holding 2 margaritas and running with them at a theme park.
Yes.
And I remember when I saw that in the movie theater, I was like, no, I get that, because movie theater, or not movie theater, but theme park margaritas are like $12 a piece.
Right.
If I just spent that, absolutely, I'm taking both of them with me. And then I find out that man is Jimmy Buffett, and that made that even funnier to me. That Jimmy Buffett was like, fuck this, I'm taking my margaritas.
Margaritaville.
Mm-hmm. If I'm going to get eaten by a pterodactyl, I'm going to do it while downing a margarita.
Yes. So the Twister taking out the screen was like the movie where the tornado destroys the drive-in during a showing of The Shining. The facts of this incident were exaggerated. That was an
absolute mimesis moment.
Yes.
Art really, our life imitated art then.
Right. So the fact of this incident the facts of this incident were exaggerated into an urban legend that the theater was actually playing Twister during the movie or during the tornado. So,
it wasn't.
It became urban legend that it was playing, that the Twister happened while the movie was playing, while they were showing The Shining, that scene.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it happened before they played the movie. Nobody was there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Yes.
And no one was hurt in that? The theater was empty?
I don't think so.
Okay. Good.
Yeah. So the project was a co-production between Universal Pictures and Warner Brothers Pictures. This is why the drive-in marquee shows Psycho, 1996, and a Universal releasing The Shining in 1980, a Warner Brothers release. So that's how you get the Psycho, The Shining, and Twister all together.
I love that.
I thought you would.
I do. I love Psycho so much. I can watch that movie a million times, but The Shining, I still have a hard time sitting through. That movie scares the hell out of me.
I don't think I've ever watched The Shining from start to finish. I've seen bits and pieces, and always when I was like a teenager. And so I don't think I can finish it.
It's scary as all hell. Like, I've sat through a lot of like psychological thrillers. I don't get into like the gory movies a lot. I really like the psychological one. Yeah. But like when that little boy starts doing the red rum, I'm out. No.
Isn't that Stephen King's movie or book turned into a movie?
Yes. And I've read the book.
Some creepy stuff.
I've read the book. I loved the book. I was able to finish the book. The movie, on the other hand, I need to have my emotional support hubby next to me, keeping me calm. He fell asleep during it once because he was exhausted, and I slapped him awake, and I was like, no, man. No, man.
You better wake up and sit with me.
No. We're going to endure this creepy child together. Let's do this.
So I think the reason why I stopped, I used to love watching scary movies, not necessarily the gory, even though I did go to the movie theater and watch Saw for every single one of them. But that wasn't my choice of that. But like, I stopped watching them because Scott doesn't like them. And so now I'm like a big fat chicken. Like, I can't watch scary movies now. Because I'm like, oh, no, they're too scary.
No, it's just scary. It's just scary.
Yeah. No. So on May 10th of 2010, a tornado struck Fairfax, Oklahoma, destroying the farmhouse where numerous scenes were shot. J. Barry Harrison, the owner of the home and former Oklahoma state senator, commented that the tornado appeared eerily similar to the fictitious one in the film. He had lived in the farmhouse since 1978.
Oh my gosh, that's so scary.
Yeah. So the farmhouse, I believe, was the one in the beginning, or it was Meg's. I don't know which one.
I think it's Meg's farmhouse. It's the big yellow farmhouse.
Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I thought that
I worked at the movie theater as a teenager when this movie came out, and I saw this movie. Like, this was the one that, you know, your shift is done, you're not quite ready to go home, so you'd go grab some popcorn and go watch Twister on like 6 more times. You know,
that's awesome.
I watched this movie a ton of times, so yes, I remember the farmhouse, and I remember wanting Jamie. I almost called her Jamie Lee Curtis. That's not her name. We're talking about Psycho, and her mom is in Psycho. I just totally went on a tirade. Anyways, Helen Hunt. I remember watching the movie and just, I wanted her hair. That was it.
Yes, that was the 90s, the big bangs.
Yeah. Long straight hair and the big bangs. I loved it.
Yeah. So Bill Paxton would later narrate Storm Chasers for Sean Casey's 2011 documentary, Tornado Alley. After the death of Paxton in February of 2017, hundreds of storm chasers and users of the Spotler network used their markers to spell out his initials across the states of Texas, Kansas, and Oklahoma in tribute to the actor.
Oh, that breaks my heart. That's so sweet.
Yeah.
I love that.
Loved it and became like a part of like the storm chasers.
And you know what? Everything I've heard about him, he was just a genuinely cool guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like every Hollywood story I've heard about him, he was just a cool guy that like loved his craft and appreciated what he was allowed to do for a living. That's amazing.
Well, I mean, he got to do some pretty neat stuff. If he actually went down and got to see the Titanic, like I had a horrible obsession with that movie.
Oh, girl.
I think you created this.
I know. That's why I'm laughing. It's like I created that obsession. I don't know what you're talking about.
You did.
I was obsessed with Titanic.
Yeah.
Like,
I remember, I think I went with you and saw it in the theaters.
I saw it so many times at the movie theater. I
I think I went with you, and then I went with my friend Brandy and her dad was so funny. He's like, cover your eyes. And I'm like, really? I'm a teenager. I know what they're doing.
Exactly. It's fine. We're fine, Dad. I was so obsessed with it. And like the mimesis behind it of the real stories of the Titanic and what was real and what wasn't. And
we're going to have to do that one.
We're going to have to. I remember talking to somebody and them being like, you know, oh, the fact that Jack and Rose's story is real just blew my mind. And I remember just blinking their direction like, what? No, you fucking not. You know, you didn't say that, did you? Okay, we're done. We're done here. We're done.
You're done. Go sit in the corner.
Exactly. Your time to speak is over. Go sit over there and read a history book. Yeah.
Goodness.
All the real history in that, and that's what you picked up on? All right.
Yeah. Okay. So back to Twister. The museum was located in Wichita, Oklahoma, where much of the particularly destructive scenes of the movie were shot. It contains various memorabilia and artifacts related to the film. Like, you can go there today and go and see all this stuff.
Oh,
from
where
the
is
film.
that?
It's in Wichita, Oklahoma. So where they filmed most of the stuff.
If I ever had any reason to go to Oklahoma.
I know. Maybe passing through, going somewhere
Driving
else.
through on our way somewhere.
Yeah.
No offense to any listeners in Oklahoma.
No.
We just don't really know what to do there. So if there's really cool stuff
Exactly.
we're missing out on, please let us know.
Yeah. So on May 15th, 2021, a 25th anniversary party was held in Wichita. Many events included a car show, a lookalike star contest, kids games, lunch breaks, sloppy joes.
Oh, cute.
Yeah, they also had snacks, beef jerky, cinnamon rolls. I don't know why they put all of that information in there.
I want to know more about the star lookalike contest. I want to know
Right?
if they were good. Were there good lookalikes?
Do they like dress up like every single character and like try and like make their cars look like the caravan that they
really,
had?
really hope so. I hope they went all in.
Yeah.
In my head, that's what they did.
Yes. Yes. Okay. I don't know if you knew this one, but there was a possible cast like that they were trying to get to be in the cast, and it was Garth Brooks.
Who was Garth Brooks going to play?
He was going to play Jonas Miller.
No.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. But he's somebody, Lisa Sanderson, a former business partner, said, well, we could have seen the Boot Scoot and Boogie country star in Twister.
Well, you know, if anybody's going to chase a tornado, you want somebody that ain't going down till the sun comes up. Ain't giving in till they get enough. Rolled around the world in a pickup truck. I'm going to stop now.
Yeah, we don't want to get sued.
I also am impressed that I remembered that much of one of his songs.
But according to a lawsuit filed by Garth Brooks' former business partner of 20 years via TMZ, the highly successful country music musician had the chance to appear in a number of different blockbusters, including Saving Private Ryan, but the singer's ego reportedly got in the way. One of the funniest examples listed is in the Suits is the one about Brooks turning down a villainous role. I can only guess that it was Carl L's doomed Dr. Jonas Miller because he didn't want to play second fiddle to a tornado.
You know what? That doesn't surprise me.
No.
Like, he absolutely seems like somebody that has drank his own Kool-Aid in a pretty big way.
Yeah. Well, I mean, at the time he was cheating on his wife.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember with who. Trisha Yearwood, was it?
Yeah, they're married now.
Yeah, and been together forever, but
still, like, they were performing together, and he was like, "No, we're just friends."
Yeah.
Sir, no.
No.
We can all see it. Nice try.
Yeah. Okay. So the big old cow.
The big old cow. Let's talk about the big old cow in the room.
Yep. So during a 2016 interview, visual effects supervisor Stefan Fang, I'm going to like butcher this, Fangmere, explained it was based on actual real occurrences. Farmers after a tornado had gone through reported finding their cows miles and miles away from the field where they had last seen them.
Those poor cows. Were they still alive?
Yeah.
You're leading the cow back, and the cow is like, "I have seen some shit. Let me tell you."
Yeah. So the cow in the movie.
Wait. You know what comes out of those cows now? Ask me.
What comes out of the cows?
Milkshakes.
Of course you went there. So in the movie, the cows are not real, but were
Thank God
computer animated. The flying cow was perhaps the most famous scene throughout the film. The CGI cow was originally, wait for it, a CGI zebra from the 1995 film Jumanji.
With Robin Williams?
Yes. You know
I
where
love that.
they're sucking in
Yes.
the flying animals and the zebra? That's how they
Yes.
turned it into a cow.
Oh, I love that.
I mean, nothing like borrowing from other movies.
No, of course not.
Yeah. Okay. So another surprising role or like actor that was almost Bill was Tom Hanks.
Yes. I saw this one. And he actually referred Bill Paxton because they'd worked together on Apollo 13. I saw this recently. That's so cool.
So Tom Hanks was the original choice for the role of Bill Harding. Hanks read lines with the cast and even chose the character's wardrobe, which stayed in the final film, but dropped out of pre-production and said, "It wasn't what I was trying to do with my career at the time. It called for an eccentric man with a Southern flair, and that wasn't me." While on the set of Apollo 13, 1995, Hanks felt co-star Bill Paxton was perfect for this role and helped Paxton land it. Kurt Russell.
And you know what? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I love that about Tom Hanks, that like he didn't just go full diva, Garth Brooks, and just say he didn't want to be part of it. He was like, you know what? This isn't really for me, but I know who would do great in this role.
Right.
And he did. Bill Paxton
He did amazing.
What? He knocked it out of the park. Let's try that again. He knocks it out of the park.
Swing and a miss.
Yes. But I love that about Tom Hanks. That's very cool.
Yeah. Kurt Russell and Michael Keaton were other possibilities.
Really?
Yeah.
Beetlejuice was almost in this?
Yep. I'm tying in everything that we.
I love me some Michael Keaton. I love me some Michael Keaton.
The only thing we need is some Stanley Tucci in here, but
I know
he doesn't make.
You know what? Speaking of Stanley Tucci, right before we started recording, do you know what I was watching in the other room?
What were you watching?
Julie and Julia.
Do you like it?
I love their relationship. Stanley Tucci is just adorable. When he's like, "What do you want to do? You like cats? Do you want to make cats? You like cooking? Do you want to cook? What do you want to do?" Like, he's so sweet,
so supportive of her.
Yes, they're adorable. Yeah. So yeah, Stanley Tucci and everything. But yeah, I would have loved Michael Keaton in this movie as well, because Michael Keaton should be, in my mind, he's still the best Batman to date.
Yes, I agree. I agree. Did you finish watching Batman? I haven't finished watching it yet.
The Ron Pattinson one?
Yeah.
I have not.
We started it together and we have not finished it.
No, we haven't. And that's not saying anything bad about the movie. We were both really tired and medicated. Yeah. I was medicated. She was really tired.
I was tired.
I haven't finished it yet. No.
Okay. But so, I don't feel bad. Okay. No. So how they created the wind was using a jet engine, a Boeing 707.
Okay.
Like they would turn it on and that's how the wind would whip.
Did they turn it up to different speeds based on like the category 1, category 2?
I don't know.
It seems they would have to, because a category 1 and a category 5 are not going to blow you away the same way.
Well, maybe they put it like closer and further away.
Just put it directly in front of them for a category 5. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fun.
And then moving on to one of the characters was wearing a University of Oklahoma shirt, Dustin, and a hat. The reason why he was doing this is because the producers wanted to spite OU for not letting the OU symbol be on Dorothy.
Oh.
Because like something with the NOAA and the university, they were trying to do the Toto. So they were trying to give them respect and like support them. Like, you guys tried doing this. It didn't work, but we're trying to give you some credit. And they didn't want it. So then they just put him in a University of Oklahoma shirt and a hat.
Good for them.
Yeah. Yep.
People are so snippy.
Yeah. And Laura Dern was considered for Joe.
Laura Dern is brilliant in everything.
I don't know.
She's
who that is.
fantastic. You don't know who Laura Dern is?
I probably do, but I can't place her.
Girl, first of all, she's at Jurassic Park.
Oh, yes. Okay. Now I know. Now I feel stupid. And of course it makes sense because Michael Keaton.
Yeah.
Or Michael Crichton, sorry.
Michael Keaton? No, that doesn't make any sense. No, Laura Dern has done some amazing work. She's phenomenal.
Yeah.
I could go on a whole Laura Dern tangent, but I've gone on a lot of those, so I'll rein it in for right now.
Like, I'm very excited to see the newest Jurassic Park with everybody in it.
Yes.
Have you watched
That's going to be so good.
Or is it out?
It's in theaters. I haven't gone to see it yet, though.
Okay.
The last movie we saw in theaters was Multiverse of Madness.
Oh, I haven't seen that yet.
Oh my god. I love me some Marvel. I love Marvel. And that was so good. I squealed and gasped so many times.
I'm going to have to check it out.
You do. You need to. Yeah. It was very good. Highly recommend.
So that's all I have on Twister.
Oh, the Toy Story reference. The Toy Story reference was the
Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks. That's where it came back around.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, all of these like
a tornado.
Exactly. You listen to all these and like this person was considered and this person was considered and it just makes Hollywood sound so much smaller. Like it just seems like to everybody else it seems like so big, but it seems the inner workings of Hollywood that it's actually it's a little bit more it's a little bit more small and tight knit group than we realize.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Which we need to make it some friends in there.
We need some friends.
I've got friends in low places.
That friends in low places are not going to get you there, honey. You need to go in the other direction. Yep. See, Garth has friends in low places and he has not made it into movies yet. So you need to go in the other direction. Now we're going to get nasty emails from people that will be like, Garth was in this movie and point it out. And I don't mean anything against Garth.
We like Garth Brooks.
We do like Garth Brooks.
A lot.
I used to.
Like some of the choices that he made.
That's right. I used to be a big Garth Brooks fan.
You were a huge Garth Brooks fan.
I was. I don't listen to country music anymore.
You don't. I remember like you had that big box set of his CDs.
Yes. I did.
And you yelled at me when I was like, "Can I listen?" And you're like, "No."
I'll let you listen. You're just not allowed to touch it or manhandle it or
I was like,
breathe its air.
What?
I'm still like that with my stuff. I'm so weird.
Yeah. I mean, I was 8 or 9. Like, I was little and grubby hands, and like, I did not respect things.
You're like, I wouldn't have let me touch it.
No. I have kids now. I understand.
Yeah, no. I will turn it on for you. You don't touch it. Yeah. That was back in my country music days. I don't listen to country anymore.
No. We've upgraded.
We've gone on a total tangent here this episode. Oh, goodness. Fun. This was a good one, though. You did a lot of research. I'm very impressed. This was a good one.
Yeah. Like, I just went down the rabbit hole of just finding tons and tons. And I was like, oh, we're going again. Oh, look at that.
Was there a fact from this that really, like, floored you?
I would have to think, like, just the people who could have been.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that the actor, Bill Paxton and Helen Hunt, they just made it.
They were perfect.
Like, I honestly, even though like the other names are big and I like them, I can't imagine them in it, the roles.
No.
Like
Kurt Russell. Like, I love Michael Keaton. I can't imagine Michael Keaton in this role.
Yeah. Like, who they chose was great.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
And then the fact that he like ended up doing all the other stuff, Bill Paxton, like that's just amazing.
He was a very cool dude. That's very sad that he passed.
It is.
Yeah. But he lived a good life. I mean, look at the things he got to do and experience.
Right. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. So,
all right. Well, I guess I'm the next one up here. And
yeah.
I am actually working on something special.
Special?
Yeah. It's not even what you and I talked about. I have something else that I've been thinking of. And I think I might surprise you with it. I think it might just be like fly by the seat of our pants and go with it kind of thing, because this one came at me out of the blue and now I'm like all in. So
that's like, it was just one little thing that I found on this and I was like, oh, I have to know more.
Yeah. I will give you a hint. Are you ready for a hint?
I'm ready for a hint.
We're going old Hollywood.
Old Hollywood.
Old Hollywood. The time of Hollywood glamour. We're going to go old Hollywood.
Oh.
Yeah. Are you ready?
Okay.
So that's what I'm working on for you.
I need to know.
Yep. That's what I'm working on for you. You'll have to wait and see what it's all about.
Yeah. Can we do this tomorrow?
I know. I got to research. Give me a minute.
Okay.
I think that's about all we've got for today. This was very impressive. I loved everything you brought to me here. This was awesome.
Yeah. And I hope and everyone should know that every storm will pass, like the one that's over your house right now.
It's gotten a little quieter.
That's good. Well, does that mean that the tornado is there? You have a tornado warning right now.
Don't say that. Hold on, let me check my phone. We're good. The alarm hasn't gone off. We're good.
Okay, good. Until next time.
Bye.
Bye.